Bente Grimm, you are in the part of northern Germany, the head of tourist mobility research. That is a title I have never heard of before, but obviously very needed here in Montenegro and the area of Boka Kotorska, Boka Bay altogether, Tivat, Herceg Novi, Kotor, suffering especially in the summer season, but now also during the full year of traffic jams. And we had last year Professor Harold Goodwin from London describing the experience that traveling from Kotor to the border towards Dubrovnik airport took 9 hours, and the distance is only around 50 kilometers. So obviously mobility is a great challenge here, and something is going wrong. Could you describe, because this is an aspect of quality of life for local people in the first place, and in the second place, if mobility is well organized, it is also a selling point for good tourism. Could you describe a little bit the difference between local mobility needs and tourist mobility needs? There was a clear difference there.
Yes, of course I can. Yes, you can see that people who travel in daily life, for example, if they go to school or to work, they have their routines, they know the place they go to, they know the mode of transport, and they have special times of the day. And like in the morning and go back in the evening, or from school at lunchtime. But it's not about experiencing new regions or whatever. But if you go to a region which you have never seen before, if you go there as a tourist, you have a different perspective. You might go there in a specific season where maybe is no public transport because there are school holidays, like in summertime, and you might go there with a lot of luggage, and you have to transport this luggage. You might go there together with other people, so you're not alone, and you have to coordinate your travel with the other people. You don't know anything about the timetables, about the fares. You don't know how to get any information about public transport, which is crucial in terms of sustainable mobility. Because if you go by car, you have Google Maps or whatever. But if you take a public transport, or if you want to go by bike, you need more information about that. And we can see that the tourists, they travel differently, and they need a lot more help, and they need to be inspired about sustainable modes of transport.
And how could it happen in a place where the public transportation is organized by private companies between the regions here? No, it is not like there is a public service between all the municipalities and even cross borders, even less so. What would be your suggestion to that? And why would a tourist use public transportation at all? Because we got all these agencies, and they organize their buses and combi buses and whatnot. So why would I travel publicly as a tourist if I'm not in a group? No? And we know that the individual part of traveling is growing.
So first of all, I think it's important to have some data and some knowledge about where the people come from, because it's very different at different destinations. And at this place, there are quite a lot of people who arrive by plane. It's the typical flight destination. So the first point would be to maybe think about the source markets and think about where people come from and which places they come from. And that is the first part. But taken into account that they just arrive at the airport, or maybe arrive by car from a neighbor country. It's a matter of inspiration and information, and a matter of offers that are convenient, that are easy to use, and that are exciting. And if it's more fun and easier to use public transport, you might do it, but only if you know about them. And you should know about these these offers before you arrive and even before you plan your holiday, because it might influence your choice of destination. There are some other destinations, especially in the Alps, who are very good at creating sustainable mobility offers, and it's often, or at least partly included into the price of the accommodation. You get a kind of mobility card with access to different modes of transport. And if you know that, you might choose this destination, because there are a lot of people within Central Europe, especially in the bigger cities, who don't have a driving license and don't have a car, or maybe don't want to use use a car because of sustainability reasons. So they prefer to use other modes of transport, and they look for information. And the funny thing is that they look for information at the accommodation. That's the point where they want to get the information about mobility at the region. So the accommodations should have the knowledge about mobility aspects, because if they manage to inform the tourists, if more tourists use alternative modes of transport, which are not only public transport but also bicycles and walking, you will have less congestion jams, less noise and less traffic, and less pollution as well. And that's better for not only for the environment but also for the local people, because they have a higher quality of life, and of course they can also use these offers. And last but not least, the people who work in tourism, they will also profit from these offers, because they have to get to work sometimes very early in the morning, sometimes late in the evening, at times there's maybe no public transport. And if you manage to have some specific offers to specific places or tourist attractions, like on-demand transport or maybe car sharing and all that, would make it easier for these people to get to work as well.
There were two interesting aspects in what you just said. Actually, three. The first one is where to get the information. People expect it at the accommodation.
Exactly.
I find that is very natural. You don't want to go and search for the information, even if it's on the internet. We have here this, regionally available bus ticket for .me, which is a good source of information when the buses are running from where to where. Anyway, the other aspect is that the price of, let's say, I'm staying a week or two, and the price of a public transportation ticket, I'm going from place to place, could be included in my booking of accommodation.
Yes.
How is that organized?
Oh, that's in a way, it's the king solution. It's the best solution, which is practiced in some regions within Europe, but as far as I know, not here in Montenegro. But of course, it's a long way, but it's worth doing it, and it only works if you have a tourism regional management organization, which calls together different accommodations, and so that they have a system with its, when every guest pays a certain amount of money, which is used for transport. Yeah,
here what visitors pay staying overnight is the overnight tax, boravišna taksa. So if we say, okay, that would be raised a little, I would accept it, because I have an additional service out of it, which would be free transportation in my offer. I get around better, I get around more, and I'm not compelled to use my car. Less traffic, less individual traffic, better quality for life, more income for the destination. Is this the king solution?
Exactly, that's how it is supposed to be. And the main point is that you pay this extra amount if you use it or not. So everybody has to pay it, and then it gets more interesting to use it, because you already paid for a service. And if you have paid for it, then it's okay to use it as well.
And the third aspect, which you mentioned it only shortly, but it is a very unknown concept here, is this transportation, public transportation on demand. And I have seen it work and found it wonderful, because it works with smaller units, it's quite flexible. How is that organized?
Oh, that one is organized digitally. So so the way from the consumer side of you, it's that you call or give an information via your mobile phone.
Maybe there is an application for it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
there might be an app. And you could give the information, okay, I want to go from A to B at, let's say, 7 o'clock. And then the trips are organized. So it might be that you will join me because you want to go to another place at 7 o'clock. And so the driver comes and gets me, and then we drive on to your place, to the place you are at that moment, and we go on. So it's organized digitally. And sometimes they have
it's like a collective taxi, let's say.
But most of the time it's smaller buses, not taxi, a little bigger. And yes, you sit together with other people, but these people might have a different route, but a kind of similar way. And it might take some minutes more than a normal taxi would take, and you might have to wait some minutes, but not too long.
Not too long,
but you share the driver, and you share the ride. And exactly.
Yeah, so it's cheaper than having this individual taxi driving just one person and again producing.
It could be even included in that mobility card and that extra amount you pay with your tax, with your tourism taxes.
Bente, I think we need to come back to this region and to do actual consulting on how the mobility issues and problems could be solved.
Good.
Let's start with Montenegro. Thank you so much.
Good idea. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.